Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 7th of May 2026. I want to offer prostrations, Ananda Koti Namaskaram, Danvat Pranam Pradikshana at the feet of all of the holy sages, all the great saints in the past, present, in the future, and to Ishvara, Paramatma, residing in every place at all times in the heart of every single being. With that bhavana, with that prarthana, today is the 7th of May 2026. We are continuing by Krupa, Bhagavad Krupa, Sant Krupa, to expound upon, for clarification, Nitya-Anitya-Vastu-Vivek. These four words are used by Adi Shankaracharya Ji in his expounding of the Brahma Sutras. I will be uploading within the next week or so multiple documents on this subject, which will be available as in book format. Anybody who wants a physical book in the future, but it's available as a PDF that you can always reference, without having to buy a book necessarily. But some people would like in book format. These concepts that we have been discussing and trying to grasp are very profound in one sense. Profound meaning that they're at a very high level of realization. Yes, that is true. But think of it this way. All of us, every single human being, we are all, in fact, all beings are constantly in search of continuous, uninterrupted, unending joy, happiness, joy, bliss. These are English words. The beautiful word in Sanskrit is anandam, ananda. It's good to use the original Sanskrit words. English translations are good. We don't have a choice. Even other Indian languages, we have languages, Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi, Malayalam, and Tamil, and all. Many are derived, obviously, from Sanskrit. Sanskrit is Sanskrit. But uske aage kisi ka bhi comparison nahi hai. That is number one. Not because of any ego. Wo Dev Bhasha hai. Bhagwan has manifested in that way. That's all. In other languages, maybe wo satya to ek hi hai. But it is just a matter of using the right terminology, right language, right? That's all. It's not about up or down or any kind of egotistical kind of thing. Aisa nahi hai. So this phrase, Nitya-Anitya-Vastu-Vivek, is used by Shankaracharya Ji in his Bhasyam on the first Brahma Sutra, that is Athato Brahma Jignasa. There's a lot of research on this. But as we go forward in our exposition, without necessarily repeating too much repetition of past ideas, although it doesn't matter too much really, I want to present what Shankaracharya Ji has mentioned about the sixfold wealth. So if you have not written this down in the past, because we covered some of this about 3 years ago, but many of you were not online at that time, and we didn't cover it in this much depth also. So if you have not written this down, please write it down. This is called Shat Sampati. In Sanskrit, it is called Shamadhi Shata Sampattihi. The translation is the sixfold spiritual wealth. There are six qualities within us that we can develop, that can be developed by grace and by bhakti, upasana. These six qualities are the inner wealth. It is called Shamadhi, Sham Adi, meaning the Sham, Dam, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. These are six. That's why in Sanskrit it is called Sham Adi. Shamadhi, Shata sampattihi. Shata means 6. Sampatti means wealth. So write these down. If you're taking notes, hamari bahut prarthna hai to everybody to please write this. I already have it researched here, so that's available. But likh dena, aapke haath mein, with your handwriting, write it down. That will help a lot in actually remembering the ideas, Shravan Mananam, and it should be very clear, crystal clear, lucid clear, right? And then it can be realized by grace of God, gurus, etc. So what are the 6 qualities, 6 treasures? These 6, once they come inside of us, once they open from inside, that is the viveka, between the discrimination between the temporary and the reality, the actual Nitya Tattva, Nitya-Anitya-Vastu-Vivek, that will shine open when these 6 qualities are there. What are these 6 qualities? The first one is Shamaha, S with a line on, like an accent on top, S-A-M-A-H, Shamaha. It is Sh, not Sa, Shamaha. What is the meaning of Shamaha? Let's look at that first one. There's 6 of them. Shamaha means, in English, the translation would be inner calm, internal calmness, quietude. The word in English is quietude. You can write these down. Quietude. It's a beautiful English translations. Quietude, inner calm. It also means pacification of mental restlessness. Mind is restless, jumping, rest. It gets pacified. It is called pacification. Pacification. Please write these down. Because writing is a whole brain activity. When we write it down, our mind is not able to think of anything else. So when we write down, that is good for us. And we want to write these things down. So our mind, our antakarana, is absorbed with the spiritual terminology coming from ancient times and through great incarnations like Adi Shankaracharya ji, etc. Because this is, we want to experience this. We want to, iska anubhav karna hai. So Shama is what we're looking at right now. Let's just look at that today. That'll be good enough. Iska meaning, what does it mean? Inner calm, internal calmness, quietness of the mind, mastery of the mind also. It could also mean that. We talk about that in our angel wing program. Shamaha. See, there's only 2 letters are only there. Sha and Ma, and then the Ha is at the end. Shamaha. Shamaha does not mean destroying the mind. It means making the mind meaning antakarana, our inner activity, thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy, TEMDE. You have written that down, hopefully. It means making the mind available, making the mind quiet, making the mind refined, making the mind obedient to what? To higher understanding, to Brahma Vidya, towards higher wisdom, higher knowledge. Having that broader vision, like that airplane analogy we've been talking about, that you take off the airplane and then as it goes up, the vision begins to expand. Isn't it so? If you're sitting in the pilot's seat and co-pilot, they can see this massive, as you go further, the vision expands. That expansion of vision is possible by first understanding clearly Shamaha. S with an accent, or you can put a SH if you want, but it's not Sha, it is not Shaha, it is Sha in Sanskrit. Shamaha, Shamaha. That is how it is pronounced, Shamaha. It's good to pronounce the original words. Right, so let's be clear. Let's be crystal clear. We have mind, we have thoughts, emotions, memories, feelings. We have all this thing is there. But making Shama is the sadhana. It is one of the 6. It is called wealth, sampatti, because once the quality opens up, in its fullness, we are wealthy with that quality. And healthy. Healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is our sadhana today. Let's keep it very straightforward, on track. We're alive right now. We're in the waking state right now. We've been talking about freedom in the waking state. But the freedom in the waking state means keeping attention on this quality that Shankaracharya ji has expounded on. Sachin is simply expounding upon what Adi Shankaracharya ji has already given us. And he is an incarnation of Bhagwan Shankar. So, we all want ananda, we all want happiness, right? But let's be clear about what that wealth looks like. What is that wealth? There's 6 types of wealth here. This is the first one. And we're just focusing on that one today. And we'll spend the rest of this week talking about these 6. Let's get into it carefully, very carefully and slowly. The first point is that the mind is not to be destroyed. That's what happens when people take drugs and gambling and hyper-pornography and all these terrible things that are going on. Too much stimulation, sense stimulation. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. Bhagavad Gita is very clear. Buddhi ka nash nahi karna. God has given us this brain, these 2 hemispheres of the brain, the spinal cord, the body, the senses. It is to be used in the best way. Great saints are showing us how to use this. Iska upyog kaise karna? So beautiful, right? Now, having said all that, first point, mind needs to be available. Make it available to higher knowledge, higher wisdom. Yes, that is why every day here online, from 7 o'clock till 8:30, sometimes 8:40, we are doing mantras, stotras, bhajans, Vishnu Sahasranam every day. Why we're doing that? Of course, it has all kinds of wisdom and gnan within it, without any doubt. But what it does, because it is in Sanskrit or other bhajans, other languages, mantras, etc., we do 1008 times now every day, Namah Shivaya mantra. It takes 12 minutes. Why are we doing that? To make our antakaran available for all of this wisdom. So that jnana opens up inside. So that the ideas being presented enter into a available mind, availability. It's like a computer, if you want to add programs to the computer, there has to be free space in the hard disk or in the cloud or wherever you're storing it. There has to be open space there to put programs there. Is it not so? And there should not be viruses and other problems, these computer viruses and all that. We have so many psychological viruses floating around that are destroying and chewing up any wisdom that is there. Just like a computer needs antivirus program, scanning all the time. Everyday satsang is an antivirus program that has to run every day. And if you run antivirus program and remove cookies and all those things from the computer remains very good. Assuming that the program is a right kind, it's updated. Isn't it? So you see this analogy. Just like that. Our brain, our mind, etc. It's like a computer. It needs an antivirus program. This Vivek Chudamani, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, these daily conversations, this is antivirus program to clean out all the trash. Right? Bahut dhyan rakhna. So we make the mind, our antakarana, available for viveka. How is it available? Let's look at how it is blocked first. A person without shamaha, without this inner calmness, purification, without that, what does it look like? Constantly scattering of memories. Chitta vritti. Chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A. Not chit, not C-I-T. That is consciousness. Scatter, memory structure. We are trapped inside our chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A. This is the first problem. Person without shama is living in fantasy world. What if this was right? What if this happens? What if that happens? I wish this could have happened. I wish that. I'm living in regret and fantasies. Living in anxieties and fears. Anxious. This might happen. This might happen. This might happen. Living in comparisons with others all the time. There is a functional aspect, but this is where the disturbances exist. Living in likes and dislikes. I like this person, I don't like this person. I like this is good, this is bad. This is a continuous chalta hai. Living in emotional reactions, reacting emotionally again and again and again. This is without shamaha. And many other ways we can describe all the disturbances, right? You can have a list of 1,000 items like this. Wouldn't be enough. There's no end. But hamare anubhav mein, in our experience, we know, we have experience of disturbance. We do not have the internal complete calmness that is possible. We don't have that. Well, if we don't have that, then by asking our Ishta Devata, Bhagwan Shankar, Devi, Ganesh Ji, Sri Krishna Paramatma, Bhagwan, jo bhi hai, or Guru Parampara, by asking them with genuineness, as Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. Ask God, ask Ishta Devata, the chosen deity. God is only one. Ask for this. How do we ask? What is the sadhana to ask for this? That we take a mala, take our mantra, main mantra, maybe it is Namah Shivaya mantra, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, jo bhi mantra hai Bhagwan ka, Om Aim Rim Klim Chavandai Viche, any mantras, whichever mantra it is, do the mantra 108 times and resonate, bring the resonance with the ideas being presented by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya's talk session is simply, expounding on that. That's all. It's not, I didn't create these words, and this is based on research. I'm presenting it to all of us, to myself first, actually. So, resonate. It's called resonance. Shamaha, write it down. That's me. This quality, wohi mehu. The disturbances, agitations, fantasies, anxieties, comparisons, likes, dislikes, emotional reactions, all that stuff, that is not me. That is called anatma. That is called not the atma. That is called anitya. We want to approach the nitya tattva. Nitya meaning eternal self, eternal Brahman, eternal realization. That which is never changing. That is an assumption. We have not realized that. But the doorway into that are these 6 sadhanas, this 6-fold inner wealth. It's like saying, I want to, use a material level example. I want to build $100 billion home, not $1 million, $100 billion ka massive home banana hai. You have to have, let's say you have, iske liye banane ke liye, let's say you have $1 trillion in the bank account. Then you can think about building $100 billion home. Or you might have $500 billion. Koi baat nahi. Let's use 1/5 of that to build the home. It's like that. When these 6 qualities at their 100% level open from inside, then the door is open into Brahman, infinite joy. Continuous, uninterrupted, unending ananda. That is ananda, joy. The door actually opens, not conceptually, not just ideas, not just rituals, not just fantasies or whatever it is, not just, this swinging back and forth and superficial spirituality and all that stuff. That is all very childish thing. Ritualism and all that. It's uppar hai sab ye baat. It's not like that. These 5, Stotra, Shastra, Stotra, Mantra, Sat Shastra, Bhagwan ke jo mandir hai, and Guru Parampara. They are absorbed inside so intensely that the quality of shamaha is going to blossom like a rose that just is budding. The bud is there, it just opens up fully. It will open right from inside. Absolutely, without, iske guarantee hai. 100% guarantee. Shankaracharya ji is given the guarantee, Ramanuj, Madhvacharya ji, Vallabhacharya ji, everybody. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shriji Maharaj, Swaminarayan Bhagwan, रामायण में ये बात है, महाभारत में बात है, विष्णु सहस्त्र नाम में, कोई भी शास्त्र लो, in the Bible it is there, in the Old Testament, New Testament it is there, in the Guru Granth Sahib, same ही बात है. It's the same thing, it's just explained in different ways, that's all. जैन शास्त्र में भी ये बात है, Sikhism में बात है, Buddha's teachings has the same teaching. This teaching is the same all the way through. It's not just a teaching, it is a state. It is opening where there is so much awareness that if anger comes, frustration comes, we are completely aware of it and said, that's not me. Desires come. They come in different ways. वो मैं वो नहीं है. That is not me actually. They may be there functionally, that's okay. See the problem in our day-to-day life? There's excessive social media. There are unnecessary arguments. There's overstimulation through news, entertainment, gossip. Gossip, another big one. People say, if I don't gossip, what I'll talk to anybody about? We're always gossiping about something. ये बंद कर दो. सत्संग की बात करो. Multitasking. There's no such thing as multitasking, by the way. You can only do one thing at a time. If I'm looking this way, I cannot be looking over there also. It's multiple tasks lined up, that's fine. You cannot do more than one activity at one time. Not really. There's some simultaneous things that can be attended to, but watch out for that. Impulsive speech, constant comparison with others, this thing all is eliminated. The goal is non-reactive steadiness. Write this down. Non-reactive steadiness. Yes. It's absolutely wonderful. Why is that? Because non-reactive steadiness is the goal. Keep the goal in the mind. That's me. The breathing becomes very, very much synchronized. This is the purpose of going to temples, by the way. Mandir mein hum jate hain, ye karne ke liye. It is a sadhana. This is why I said so many times before, when we go into mandir, take out some good amount of time to go there. Don't be, when we buy a movie ticket, don't be say, okay, I'm going to watch the movie, right from the beginning, all the commercials and all that stuff, we spend $10, $15, $20 for a movie. He said, I want to sit comfortably and we want to enjoy that, right? It's like that. Buy a ticket. There's no ticket actually, but it's something like that. Mandir mein jana hai, Bhagwan ko milne ke liye. This is how we do this. We go there carefully and write these things down on a 3x5 card. Who am I? I am the Atman. मैं ब्रह्म हूँ, मैं दिव्य हूँ. मेरा मन कैसा है? शांत, steady, quiet, refined. भगवान का कितना सुंदर दर्शन. See, this is the sadhana. It is sadhana. Then do the pradikshana, do the rituals. The rituals are important. But don't be stuck in rituals, but rituals are important. And by doing them, our goal is shamaha. Shamaha means calmness, internal steadiness, pure pacification of mental restlessness. Yes, it's absolutely wonderful. It is what life is about. When we are living this kind of life, all of our energies are in harmony. Antar ki jo shakti hai, it is not destroyed at all, because there is no jumping around. There's no jumping around. Emotional disturbances completely end. Completely. Harmful attachments, entanglements completely end. It is such a beautiful state of living. Anxiety and fear completely end. Ego reactions that are going on, the ego reaction, that stops. Our perception that is distorted, that stops. Restlessness stops. All of this is the beauty of this. It is where all of the following are transmuted in Shama, Kama, desires. They are transmuted into Bhakti. Krodha, anger, is transmuted into compassion, Karuna. Lobha, which is greed, is transmuted into generosity. Moha, delusion, confusion, is transmuted into clarity. Mada, meaning pride, is transmuted into humility. Matsarya, which is jealousy, is transmuted into wishing well for others. Bhaya, fear, is transmuted, parivartan, is transmuted into fearlessness, steadiness. Fear is gone. Chinta, worry, is transmuted into a beautiful state of great confidence. All the worries drop. Shoka, sorrow, the sorrows that are afflicting an individual, that goes away. It's transmuted into steadiness and joy. Raga and Dvesha, attraction, aversion, attraction, repulsion, is transmuted into Vairagyam. Amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. So sit quiet, sit silently. There are so many sadhanas. Sit silently. Do it for 10 minutes at a time. Don't do for too long in the beginning stages. Then you get frustrated and tired. Sit for 10 minutes in one position after doing some exercises. And then listen to bhajans, mantras, Bhagwan ka darshan karna. Just do it for 10 minutes. And then get up and do other karma yoga activity. And then come back again. And come back into your meditation spot. And then do your other activities again. And come back. It just goes back and forth. Allah, take steady breaths in, take steady breaths out. This is how we calm the mind, calm ourselves. Calm down, take it easy. The mind is filled with Shakti and it's going in 1,000 directions. Right? This is why we do mantra. Do the mantra slowly. Om Namah Shivaya, with bhav, with bhakti, with shraddha. Right? Mantra Om Namo Narayanaya, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Like this, right? These mantras are done. This is all an internal journey. Again, by doing this, Sattva Gun will increase. I'll just take a couple of minutes here and then we'll stop. Sattvic Gun, Sattva Gun, see the Rajo Gun, Tamo Gun is filled with disturbances. Without any question. It has its own experience, no doubt. Obviously. Sattva Gun is such that the preparation for Ananda is through Sattva Gun. Sattva Gun means what? To increase Sattva, meaning the quality of clarity, purity, harmony, balance, and luminosity. Let me write these down. Let's be clear. What do we mean by Sattva Gun? Sattva Gun has these 5 aspects. There's more than that, but this is the way to think about them. Clarity, mansik clarity, purity, harmony, balance, and luminosity. This is called Sattvic life, Sattva Gun. And in the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is written, Sattvam Yat Brahma Darshanam, and that is referenced in Vachanamrut, that particular verse. Why? Because Brahma Darshan, not just belief in Brahman or Atman, actual darshan, uska jo darshan hai, the realization of Brahman, is possible through the development of the Sattva Gun. Sattvam Yat Brahma Darshan, because Sattva Gun is a base, it's a foundation, Shuddha Sattva. It is the base, it is the quality that can abide all the way through, which we have talked about before. We can talk more about it if you want. And that opens the door into Brahman. As long as Rajas and Tamas predominate, one is spinning in ignorance and darkness and rag, dvesh, and the passions of the mind, the pleasures of the flesh, as the Bible uses that language. Right? So what are the steps to take? What can be done to increase sattva? There's a bunch of points. Eating pure and moderate food. Watch the quality of the food and moderation in food. Maintaining cleanliness, outwardly, inwardly, bodily, everywhere. Cleanliness. Keeping good company, sat sangha. We are known by the friends we keep. Keeping good company. Study of scriptures. Practicing prarthana and prayer. Speaking truth. Very important. Reduce violence in thought and speech. Don't have violent thoughts and recognize them and throw them away. Live ethically, dharmic jivan, ethics. Maintain regular sleep. Spend time in nature. Right? Avoid excessive stimulation. Serve others selflessly. And there's many other things, but these are the key points to increase sattvic mind. A sattvic lifestyle naturally calms the mind. Yes, definitely. So the man buddhi chit ahankar, manas buddhi ahankaraha chittam. Actually in Sanskrit these are spoken this way, that manas, the word is manas. We say man, but the word in Sanskrit is manas. We love the original Sanskrit. It's got real, we should reuse these words properly, speak them to each other. In Sanskrit, we have to maintain Sanskrit. Who's going to maintain it? We have to maintain it. Manas, buddhihi. That is the intellect, right? Mind and all that is manas. Ahankar is what? Ahankaraha in Sanskrit is ahankaraha. That is the ego sense. To observe. So in relation to Shama is observe the ahankar. The buddhi must guide the mind. Mind is manas. Buddhi is higher than manas. Buddhi, intelligence, guides the mind. Mind is something that is pacified, calmed by Navda Bhakti, 9 forms of devotion. And chittam, the word is chittam in Sanskrit, which means memory, impressions, that is purified. Purification of memory. We'll talk about that in our angel wing programs, maybe at some time in the future. We have an annual retreat coming up and all that. So many beautiful. This is how humanity is going to grow. Love grows in this. Conflicts reduce and disappear. We are helpful to each other. Our families become united. Our mind, brain, body balance comes about. Our relationship with the objects outside remains very good in the right way. Objects, relationship with people, relationship with circumstances, because we are not reactive. The quality of Shama is a wealth. It is the first of the 6 wealths, inner wealth. Shata Sampatti. And Shankaracharya ji is the one who's talked about this. We're simply expounding upon it now. And many people have expounded upon it. That's good. It's good. It's necessary to talk. But it is more relevant to realize. Right now, Sachin spoke about this for the last half an hour, let's say, or 40 minutes, whatever. That's okay. Is it realized inside? Then it is meaningful. Otherwise, it's just a lot of talk. So let's stop here for now, and then we'll continue on this. It's so beautiful. Nitya-Anitya-Vastu-Vivek. And we started that subject to better understand Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa. We started that subject. Why? As a foundation to begin to understand that the very first few verses of the Ras Leela, that's the connection. So this is all of the background that is still going on before we can enter into the Ras Leela. That is the connection, and that is in my mind. This will take whatever time, doesn't matter. Realize more. Bhakti karo. Jitna bhajan kirtan ho sakta hai, we all do it together. Life is short, folks. This body is a bubble only. The body is not going to remain. Nothing is going to remain. It is all anitya, and because it's all going to go away, not to waste time. Steadily, carefully, utilize time for higher realization. That is the best. And our relationships and our life becomes so wonderful. Just with this one quality, shamaha. It just becomes fantastic, right? So let's stop here for now, and then we'll open it up for question and answer. Let me just do the closing mantra. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarachi Sarvadam Aim Brim Klim Chamundai Viche Namo Namaha Durga Durga Rakshini Tata Swa Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. All right. We'd love to hear from you all.